Tanner?
We're live.
Okay. All right. I think my headphones just aren't plugged in is what the issue is here.
Oopsie
Can you guys hear us?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You're coming through all right.
Yeah, I don't think I've remembered to plug my headphones in after the ADR session yesterday.
Good job.
I'll just fly reckless by the seat of my pants here. But it is April 9th, 10 o'clock live,
It's May
Prime
9th.
Nation Live.
May 9th.
Oh, what did I say?
April.
Oh, Jesus, guys. Someone else just start us
You
off.
okay, bud? You good? Doing okay?
It is May 9th on Prime Nation Live here. I am one of the co-hosts, Tanner Methvin.
And now I'm Sydney Roberts. That's all I need to say.
I'm Tyler Wood.
Drew Harrison.
I am Cameron Bryan Smith of Wilmington, North Carolina. Thanks for having me.
Is your middle name really Brian?
Yeah.
With a Y, right?
Yep.
I wish I'd
Be
known that
right.
before I asked you to be on the show.
Really? Is
Yeah,
it
CBS. Those
CBS?
your initials?
Yeah.
So is that
I also don't like Brian's with a Y.
is that
I find
Y
it
as in
offensive.
like why is that your middle name?
Well,
or like
I'll have
why
you-
are you still alive?
I'll have you know, Tanner, that my middle name is named after my my dad's twin brother who was murdered before I was born.
I don't
I'm glad
because
he
this
was.
is Cameron. I don't know if this is true.
Oh,
I
This is
kind of believe it.
This is actually absolutely 100% true.
I bet
And
he
the
deserved
murder
it.
to this day is still not solved. His body was found in the Cape Fear River by his son and his father fishing.
But not Brian's son and father.
Well,
No,
for
no,
a
no, it was
random
like a
son.
random son and
Okay.
father found
No,
my
they
dad's
wanted to,
brother.
They wanted to make a point.
Like
They
yeah,
knew where they were fishing.
my dad's
Find
brother
the
was
body.
missing for like almost a week, if not a whole week, and they didn't know where he was, and then he turned up.
Can we restart this show? Can we,
Yeah, we've had
Sorry,
enough bad
really-
omens.
Really
Yeah.
I just want you to know, Tanner, sometimes when you just go off and you say you don't like things just because of the letters in them, that
who's this coming
Tanner,
from?
what's your middle name?
Charles.
Charles.
It's named
Huh.
after my grandfather who's dead.
yeah, well, you know, he had it coming. All right.
My middle name's Wayne. I'm named after my dad, my grandpa. They're both still alive.
Huh.
That's
Knock on wood.
yeah.
The way this is going so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
see if
middle
I can change
names.
that.
I
Middle
still don't
names
know if
are-
you're telling the
What's your middle name,
truth.
Sydney?
I am.
It's Aaron.
I still don't
Aaron,
know.
Double A. I have two feminine
Aaron.
names. Yeah, I have
Oh,
Sydney
Sydney,
and then
Aaron.
Aaron.
No,
So
like it is
cute.
the AA wrong kind of spelling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, double feminine names, and also my initials are the deadly Chinese virus SAR.
Oh.
So
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh.
lots of popularity in 7th grade with that.
I've got TCM, Turner Classic Movies.
Okay, not
Yeah.
bad. So we found out everyone else's. What's your middle name, Drew?
It's actually Drew. Yeah.
Mm.
David Andrew.
Ah, okay. I was about to say, are we gonna have to go through this mystery? to
Drew
find out?
Andrew. Drew Andrew.
Drew and Drew.
This is David Andrew.
Yeah.
David
David
And-
Andrew.
Drew.
Right.
Ah. Did you?
Split
That's like
personalities.
that's like we're going way off on a tangent here, but I don't care. Did you guys see
Yeah.
what
Make
is
it
it?
worse.
I Still Know What You Do last summer. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Or
The
Still
second-
Know What
yeah,
You
yeah,
Did? I was on the island, and the I guess the murderer from the first movie, his name was Roberts or something like that. And then in the last movie, one of their group, who, spoiler alert, turns out to be the murderer, his last name was Robertson. And so then the
Son of
big click thing at the end is like, wait, Robert's son. Oh my God! As if that's like the big clever reveal.
They were holding that one close
they were
to the
hoping
chest.
for. Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know I don't need to watch that movie.
No, yeah, definitely not. The first one's
You need to watch
passable.
all of them.
No.
But what's her Jennifer Love Hewitt? That's a great reason to watch those movies.
Yes.
I'm a big old fan of hers.
I like her new show where she's a hooker.
Is that a show?
Yeah, is it the Ghost Whisperer?
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's not new.
Get
Is
her
it?
tan.
That's like
She's also not a hooker in the Ghost Whisperer.
oh,
Her new show, she's a hooker.
really?
She's like a massage therapist, happy ending person.
Oh, you want happy ending?
Why? Why?
Jennifer
All right.
Love Hewitt.
We've had enough tangents. We've had enough. So
Tangents.
again, let me get this day right. It is May 9th. May 9th. In 1914, on this day, Woodrow Wilson declared the first ever Mother's Day.
You're welcome.
The
It's my
client-
grandpa.
The client list.
It's a
The client list. I've heard of that.
That's
okay.
what she's a hooker on.
Interesting. Does she have any sort of alternative or ulterior motive, or is she
That's
just
good
a hooker?
money, man.
It only lasted a half a season, so I don't think she
Ah.
got that far.
Huh.
into it.
She didn't even get to the ending.
No one's gonna. All right.
I want to die.
So Mother's Day was a thing. Still
Yeah.
is, actually.
Yeah, it's
Mother's
coming
Day
up.
started on May 9th. I'm curious. I guess I can look that
I
up
thought
right
that
now.
was the Hallmark holiday, but you said Woodrow Wilson declared it Mother's Day?
Yeah, that's what it said on this day. But maybe he just got a big old fat check from Hallmark and made
Was
a
Hallmark a
legislative.
thing at that time?
Good question. I'll look that up before I look up whatever I was going to look up before then.
Sometimes my birthday falls on Mother's Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
When's your birthday?
Pathetic.
That's
You should
cool.
all know.
My mom's
your
birthday
birthday?
sometimes falls on Mother's Day.
Do you have a
Which is
birthday
weird.
coming up?
Well, we know it's in this week, don't we, fellas?
Do we?
Hmm.
You didn't really
Dewey
tell us.
is Malcolm's younger brother.
Oh, founded in 1910, Hallmark. Yeah,
Are you
so
gonna- are you
it makes
gonna tell us
sense.
when
They needed
when
to
your
they needed to
birthday
get
is,
the
or-
ball
Nope.
rolling, so they probably handed Woodrow Wilson a big fat envelope, and next thing you know,
And
we
what-
got a national holiday.
What year was it again?
Every
Founded-
year.
Founded in 1910.
No,
and
Woodrow Wilson declaring
the
day.
first year was 1914.
So we were not in World War One yet. This was before that.
Yep, in the good days before the Great War.
Tanner,
You think they declared war in
Please,
a
Tyler.
Hallmark card?
Tanner, what year was your birthday?
1993.
Trick questions every year. Oh God, I'm the worst person.
Tyler's birthday's May 11th.
Oh, do I have that public?
Yeah.
We have to hide
Uh-oh.
that.
Your
May
birthday's the
11th.
same as
Thursday.
my mom's.
Oh,
Open mic.
give your mom's
Roasted.
number.
Roses
And-
are red, violets are blue.
And Mother's Day is May 14th this year, correct?
Tyler Wainwood, how about you?
Yes, yes it is.
So for anyone who might have forgotten that, myself included, May 14th.
Today's my
Mother's
grandma's birthday.
So whenever
We're
whenever
all over the place.
I will be on Mother's Day. I
whenever
will
your
be at brunch
birthday
with my grandma.
falls on Mother's Day, did you guys just cancel it out and she doesn't get you a gift? You don't get
What?
her
I don't
one?
get anybody gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
It's
that
my
the way you roll?
birthday. I always say my birthday was only 3 days ago. I'm not getting you anything.
It's rude.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's all we can mine out of Mother's Day.
My middle name, I usually. The same middle name as my mom.
So let's see. Women's
okay.
suffrage was 1921, correct?
Yeah, sure.
I
Let's
believe.
see.
So we had a Mother's Day before they could vote.
Exactly. I'm thinking
That's
maybe they just
fantastic.
gave a Mother's Day to stave
Yeah.
that off.
Yeah, what are you angry about? We gave you Mother's Day.
Oh no, first time they could vote was 1920.
That oughta
1920,
calm down.
okay.
Yeah.
When
Okay,
was
yeah.
Father's
Are you-
Day?
Are you certain? I thought for sure it was after 1920, like 1921.
Well, they voted in the 1920 election.
Okay,
right?
yeah, the key vote came in 1919, so they did vote in the
Yeah.
1920 election.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. I know we ain't having any funny one number off elections. We always vote in even numbers.
Yep, ever since that one number off election.
Oh, except for this one where we have to have a special election because North Carolina is very racist.
Yeah, but it's necessary.
Man, we ain't racist.
Spoken like a true North Carolinian. So, again, on this day in 1980, several years later, the first Friday the 13th came out, which again was a huge victory for women's rights.
And actually, yeah, it's a Mother's Day movie because the first one is his mom.
True.
Yeah.
Finally, not ignoring blood.
Is that going to be on SATs now? Like, Die Hard is to Christmas as Friday the 13th is to Mother's Day.
Nice. That's not a bad
I
question.
should
Yeah.
say that to my mom because we watch Die Hard every Christmas. We're that family. I
Uh-huh.
should say, all right, we're watching Friday the 13th this Sunday.
yeah. Not a bad idea.
Now, did people like get weirded out by Friday the 13th before this movie came out? Like, was that a thing?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember looking into this a long time ago, why that started, but I can't remember, so I'll look that up right now.
How about I look it up? You guys keep talking.
Okay, that works.
Oh,
I know you got a bunch of cameras to
Whoa,
control,
Ted.
so.
Don't have to yell at us.
Okay, fine, I won't look
Yeah,
it up.
tell us what to
Never
do, why
mind,
don't
I'm not
you?
looking it up at all.
It's a very
I've
Charles
I've
thing
actually-
to do over there.
I've only seen one Friday the 13th movie.
Charles in charge.
I've only seen
Sorry,
one Friday
that's
the
what I
13th movie, and that was Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, wow.
And that movie was pretty badass. Jason's so freaking metal. He just walks into a room and they start playing this heavy metal soundtrack.
I remember, yeah, you talked.
It's so awesome.
I can't wait to go back and watch that and find out that it's actually just some like Pixies song or something like that. You know, no, I trust you though, and I think I said this same story when you brought that up, that I went to see Freddy vs. Jason with my mom, and she left like right when the movie was starting to go to the bathroom, and I was just freaking out because I thought like
How
she
old
either
were you?
abandoned me there or like got killed in the bathroom. I was like 13.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was 13,
Ooh.
yeah.
Was it a Friday?
It was something like that. But yeah, Freddy vs. Jason was like the first one of those movies that I quote unquote cared about. But since then, I've seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street with is that the original one that Johnny Depp is in?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Johnny Depp in that one?
Yeah, it's a small part. I couldn't remember if it was that one or Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
John Depp.
But then the original Friday the 13th, I think I've seen a couple of those ones. But
I'm more of a Chucky fan.
really,
I like all the Chucky series.
the only Chucky I've ever watched was
Rugrats.
Seed of
don't
Chucky.
say. Okay, I was about to say, please don't say Bride of Chucky.
I don't-
But Seed of Chucky's far
yeah,
worse.
Yeah, Seed of Chucky I could only
God.
imagine was way worse. But I don't think I ever saw Bride.
The previews for that new Mummy movie look like a pretty good
They
horror
actually-
movie.
it does,
looks
yeah.
frightening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
true.
it's Tom Cruise, man. I
Have you
hate
seen
Tom
You
Cruise.
seen the preview?
Yeah.
It's good.
Well,
Right.
we're going to be talking about Tom Cruise a little bit later in pop culture, but before we get around to that, The Mummy does look really good. That extended preview that they showed
Mhm.
before Guardians, I'm guessing. Yeah,
Mhm.
it is like really. I mean, it looks action packed, but then it also does look pretty frightening.
I think it looks great until it gets to a destroy the world plot. It
Are they-
actually looks like a really fun like serial killer movie
Yeah.
until it gets to the whole we got to save the world.
And then you got to think there's going to be some aspect where they have to turn back time or something like that.
Well, I heard this is the first of a series where they're going to do like Dracula,
like an Avengers
Frankenstein.
style. Yeah. It's. I'm not hating on the concept. The concept is cool, but with the way that they've done Dracula and Frankenstein and all that stuff before, they're gonna have to figure out.
I'm more excited to see what they do with Dracula.
Yeah, I'm excited for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Russell Crowe is already playing him in this Mummy movie. He's the one who kind of introduces Tom Cruise's character to the occult.
Okay.
I guess he's going to be like their Nick Fury.
Yeah, exactly.
And the bad guy at the same time.
Oh, that's what they have going
That
for
might
him
be
that
cool.
Marvel doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Nick Fury shows up and starts popping people. But what was I just about to say about it? It does look like a decent horror movie. For instance, the scene where they're in that like well underwater,
Oh yeah.
and then she just
Those
pops
things
up
are,
right
like,
behind her.
swimming after him. Ugh.
Yeah, that looks truly frightening. But man, okay, so I guess let's go ahead and talk about Live, Die, Repeat. You brought up Tom Cruise, so let's not hold off on that. Did anyone
I hate
see
Tom
Edge of
Cruise.
Tomorrow?
No.
So wait,
No?
okay, Drew, do you hate Tom Cruise as a person or do you hate his acting?
Both.
How dare you? Days
I
of
don't like
Thunder.
him. I like him in Days of Thunder, and I like him in Cocktail.
How
What
dare
do you
that
think
is
about-
Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, what
yeah.
about Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't like.
that's
I
gotta
like
be-
I like
that's
the
his
character.
best
I don't
one.
like.
That's gotta
I
be
think
his best role.
I think
yeah.
Tropic Thunder's overrated.
The movie
I
itself,
think
or
that,
Yeah.
Tom
I
Cruise.
think that
yeah.
you're DICK.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I can agree with that
Because
because
all I got was the word you spelled at me. I don't know if you're calling me that. I don't know if you're telling me to suck it. What are you telling me to do?
Why not both?
What was Siggy
Why
saying?
not that? Why not that and more?
I can agree that it might be overrated because it was blown up so much in my head, and I went back
Mhm.
and watched it a few months ago, and it wasn't as good as I
Yeah.
made it out to be in my head. It's still, I think I'm comfortable calling it a classic.
Yeah,
if you
it's-
went back and rewatched it as a 7th grader, I'm sure you'd love it.
Yeah, very true.
When I don't know, when I rewatched it last year, I think I felt like it held up, and I honestly enjoyed it much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I've only seen I only rewatched part of it last year, but I did thoroughly enjoy it. But I mean, what was the other what was it? Not Hot Shots. The movie Hot Shots was parodying Top Gun.
yeah,
Top
yeah.
Gun. What about Top Gun? Drew?
Like the
I've-
movie Hate Tom Cruise.
I've never seen Top Gun
I
or
haven't
Days
either.
of Thunder.
Days of Thunder's really good.
I've never seen Cocktail either.
I,
I've
uh,
always
Rain
wanted to.
Man.
I like Rain
Oh,
Man.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
Rain Man a
Rain
lot.
Man.
Never
Yeah,
seen
he's
Rain
really
Man.
good.
Yeah, I
either.
like the Rain Man, not Tom Cruise.
It's Dustin Hoffman.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you
like
like
the
the
Rain
Hoffman.
Man?
You
I'm
like the
trying to
Hoffman.
think of a Tom Cruise movie that I've never seen
Oh,
any of the
all the
Mission
Mission
Impossible.
Impossibles are terrible.
I've never seen any
Ghost
of them.
Protocol was great.
It's terrible.
I do respect the fact that he does his own stunts.
No.
I respect that a lot.
What is he, Jackie
I respect
Chan?
him as an actor. Like
It's
I think
easy.
that he's a very talented actor.
As an actor,
It's easy for a tiny dude.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to wear
Dangle
those
from
heels.
planes
Oh, what
and
about
stuff.
Jerry Maguire?
I like Jerry Maguire.
yeah, I liked the movie.
I've
not
seen
Tom
bits
Cruise.
and pieces of it. And
Not
I-
going to convince Drew. He's not going to.
yeah, really, he's a staunch
I like Cuba
anti-Cruise.
Gooding
What
Jr.
about The Last Samurai?
Okay, you got me there. That
nice. We
was,
cracked the
that
shell.
was a good movie.
Okay. So
I
anyway,
actually went and saw it in theaters twice.
well, even if you don't like Tom Cruise, this movie Edge of Tomorrow, which everyone knows is Live, Die, Repeat, because the actual title of the movie was Edge of Tomorrow, but then on all the
It's-
promotional materials, they just made the words Live, Die, Repeat like 5 times bigger
It's
than Edge of
such
Tomorrow.
a bad title.
Didn't they actually change the title to
Yes.
Live Die Repeat when they put it on DVD?
They did.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
started as Edge of Tomorrow, and the slogan was Live, Die, Repeat. And it's like, wow, the slogan is a way better title.
Mhm.
Edge of Tomorrow is terrible. Like, the title's terrible. The movie is actually great. One of my favorite blockbusters
I mean,
in the
the
last couple
title
years.
makes sense when you know what the movie's about, but it doesn't do a good job of
It was a blockbuster.
getting you into it.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was
I've
a
never
big
even
summer-
heard of this.
But see,
movie.
that's the thing. It was a big summer movie that was critically acclaimed. Like, people loved it. It's like, wow, it's a really well-made movie. And it didn't make a lot of money, so it's weird that they're not only doing a sequel, but also the sequel is going to be under the title they gave it later. It's going to be called Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is sort of a lazy sequel title, but
Ugh.
I'm excited for it because the movie really was good, and it tackles a trope that has been done multiple times now, but it does it in a really original way. And the
What's that
ending,
trope?
It's like Groundhog Day, but
Oh.
in war.
But
But it's like Independence Day meets Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah,
I felt like
yeah.
it was.
That's
It
a
was
good way to put it.
It was very much like a Halo game because you're playing this shooter campaign essentially and
Yeah.
learning over and over where the enemies are, when they're gonna like throw grenades.
That's a good point.
That was what made it.
And
so
you have like
appealing
the
for me.
training sequences too. That's a really good point. But the ending was really satisfying. It wasn't predictable or anything like that.
Did Tom Cruise die?
I don't want to spoil.
Yeah,
it.
we won't spoil
Well,
it.
I don't want to watch it.
But
unless
there's
Tom
lots
Cruise
of
dies.
time travel stuff involved. So even
he
if
dies
we
in
were
Days
to-
of Thunder.
Uh-oh.
No, he doesn't.
Jeez.
Tyler, I was gonna watch that tonight.
Oh,
He
he
doesn't-
was. I forgot
He
Minority
doesn't die.
Report and
Oh,
War of
Michael-
the Worlds.
Michael Rooker. Yondu
Al
is in Days of
Days
Thunder
of
as
Thunder,
well.
really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Interesting.
He's like the main villain.
I-
The
who
first
do you in
the
the
first
book?
bad guy.
Okay,
Villain.
yeah. I don't know of any like young Michael Rooker movies that I can think of. But anyway, Edge of Tomorrow.
John C. Reilly's also in there.
What? In
Yeah.
Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Is he-
nice.
Pit
I can
crew
get into
member?
that.
Yeah, his dad was the guy that died at Daytona the year before.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
man.
I don't
That's-
remember Tom Cruise being in Goldmember. Austin Powers Goldmember.
He played
He had a
Austin
cameo.
Powers. You remember at the end of it where they're
Oh,
showing the
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Oh
yeah. He played Austin Powers. in
yeah.
that.
See, terrible roles. He's a terrible movie.
Okay,
But
I'm
I
done.
think that those are his best ones, where he's self-aware and making fun of himself, like in Tropic Thunder. So good in
See,
Tropic
he's
Thunder.
only good when he's making fun of himself.
Yeah, and he doesn't do that often. He takes himself pretty seriously, which is why
Well,
he
the
gets
church makes him.
the flack
So-
that he does. Yeah, and obviously that's probably the biggest detriment to it. Well, I think in the public eye that's the biggest detriment to his career, but who knows?
I want to see that movie that he works with Jamie Foxx.
A Collateral?
He's dating Katie Holmes now.
Oh, interesting. But
So
wait,
that
they're
would
working
be-
on a new movie together?
No, I just hope.
Okay,
down
yeah,
the
because
line
they had
do
that movie
something.
Collateral, which
Mm.
I've never seen, but
Is there
I
Collateral 2?
You really find that interesting?
Katie Holmes is
What?
the collateral.
Katie Holmes, period. Anything with her?
Hey, she was in Batman
if-
Begins.
if
and that
Jamie
movie is
Foxx
good.
She was in
is dating
Dawson's
her.
Creek, and she's a little hottie.
She's boring. She's a boring
Kevin
person.
agree.
Smith
She's
likes 14.
pretty-
what
pretty boring.
what attractive girl isn't boring?
Scarlett Johansson.
Is she though?
She's pretty boring.
She's pretty interesting.
She's pretty boring.
What makes you
She's-
say that?
Say one thing
She's a
about
lot
her
of
that's
kicks.
interesting.
She's had a baby.
What about J-Law?
No, she's overrated. She's
Waiting-
a Tropic
waiting for
Thunder
the
of female
interesting part.
actresses.
I loved what
I
Lydia
like Jennifer Lawrence.
Lydia Manning said after someone said that they saw Ghost in the Shell. She was like, "How many times does Scarlett Johansson wrap her legs around someone's neck?"
Not enough.
Yeah, but that does happen in every single Scarlett Johansson
Is
action movie.
Lydia slut shaming?
I don't think it had any sort of sexual connotation. I think she was karate shaming, if anything.
Can we
Mm.
say? Can we slay the sloot shaming?
I think you can slay
Did
the
you
slut
know-
word. Yeah.
Did you know Tom Cruise? I'm sorry, I can't get off this IMDb.
Live, die, repeating yourself, Tanner.
and repeating. Did you know he has one director credit
What is
No,
it?
what is
for an episode of Fallen Angels in 1993? It's
See?
called The
Terrible.
Frightening Framus.
He probably came up with that name. Too.
Well, he probably got installed as a director by the Church of Scientology to put their themes. I mean, for real, like when you hear people talk about the way that the Church of Scientology has influenced his career, like who knows? From the public eye, we all view it as like a detriment. Like, oh man, he's a crazy Scientology dude. But like the Church of Scientology has played such a big role in getting him.
He's their last spokesperson.
Yeah,
Well, what
pretty
about
much.
John Travolta?
About Will Smith.
Yeah, John Travolta. Yeah,
Oh my
John
God.
Travolta is a little
Will
bit.
Smith recently left.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
He got
Why?
out?
I think he got out.
They're like,
I think
all right,
I'm
Willow,
not- I could-
that's
I might
enough.
be wrong
Or
about that,
Jaden.
but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
I'm not
him and-
entirely sure, but I feel like I remember that he like converted to whatever Jada's.
Yeah.
What about R.
religion is.
Kelly?
Is he
R. Kelly is
Scientologist?
Scientologist?
Well, yeah, I remember from the South Park. I don't know if he's still.
Huh.
Oh, and Isaac Hayes was.
Yeah.
before he-
Yeah, and that's why he quit doing South Park. Yeah, I mean
Chris-
Scientology has a ridiculous
Kirstie Alley?
roster, but
Kirstie Alley.
Christian.
but that's none of them are really in the public eye like Tom Cruise is. John Travolta, yeah, but he even some
Danny
could say
Masterson is a Scientologist.
Oh,
that's
I
right.
liked him.
That's right.
Kelly
yeah,
Preston?
he's a really good guy.
I don't know who Kelly Preston
I'm a
is.
Scientologist.
Greta Van Susteren.
Oh, she's on Fox News.
Juliette Lewis.
Don't know.
Dougie
Yeah, see?
Fresh.
Hey,
Really?
Larry David.
Jenna Elfman.
So I think all this is going to
No, we're
make
reading
our
the whole,
point
We're reading the whole list.
that Tom Cruise
If
is
you had-
pretty
New
much the
segment.
last
If you
bastion.
had
Yeah.
Catherine
if you had to
Bell.
guess which movie we named that Tom Cruise is in that he has one writing credit on, which would it be?
Oh.
What's the most boring, dumbest movie? you've ever been
Risky
a part of?
Business.
I'm gonna say like the most sci-fi influence, but definitely not Live Die Repeat.
Rain
Live,
Man.
die, repeat, and repeat.
What do you think, Drew?
Live, die, repeat, and repeat.
It's Days of Thunder, actually. He has a writing. Yeah, he has a writing credit on Days of Thunder.
My hillbilly came out. He's
He
angry.
made that.
Yeah, really, yeah.
He made that.
Oh, it's funny too because I'm pretty sure
Love that movie.
Days of Thunder and I think Top Gun, a couple of his early movies, he still has like regular people messed up teeth.
That's because he was a Southern Baptist back then, man.
Well, yeah, he was a
Where's
good
he
old
from?
boy, yeah.
Can this just be the Tom Cruise episode of Pride Nation Live?
Johnny Depp's from Kentucky.
But then he gets his teeth
he really?
fixed
Yeah.
after he becomes famous, and now he's got those like perfectly white veneers. Like they look so weird, you know. So you go back and watch his old movies where he has regular old nasty teeth.
He's
and
from New York,
Tom Cruise's.
Which part?
Syracuse.
All right.
Alright, well-
That's upstate.
This has been the Tom Cruise segment. It's already time for our first break.
He's had 3 divorces.
We've been
3. Oh,
when
man.
we get around to
Who's
putting
Mimi Rogers?
music in the app and all that, I'm gonna
What?
put in the entire Days of Thunder soundtrack.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
He was
he's the only
married
son
to-
of nomadic parents. What does that mean?
He's a gypsy.
You
Must
know
be.
Austin Powers. Then Austin Powers, the Heather Graham's mom.
No.
This
Hmm?
lady.
I know Heather Graham.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This is great
Okay.
for the cameras
That's
and the
who-
viewers.
Yeah, really.
We'll have to get a pic when we come back.
That's who Tom Cruise's first wife was.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Good job for him.
Everyone look up Mimi Rogers. That's who
Mimi
Tom Cruise's
Rogers.
first
Very
wife.
Rogers.
There you go.
All right, yeah.
There you
So
go.
do that in the break over the next 10 minutes. We'll be back here at 10:30, guys. So stick around till then. What does it sound like?
You. Yeah, there was like a and then just a little bit of
Yeah.
like the Prime Nation thing in the very, very background. It was so light.
May 9th, back from our first break. This is Prime Nation Live. So let's get back into pop culture. Now that we've gotten all the Tom Cruise stuff out of the way.
Oh, we're not done.
At least hopefully, yeah. Let's talk about this this test that got stolen through the air duct. So, Tanner, like I just said, I don't have the articles up in front of me anymore. Do you have details on this?
Yeah, I do. So I guess this was at the University of Kentucky, and these students planned to steal an exam for their statistics class by climbing through a vent, lowering themselves into the room, taking the vent, and then taking the exam.
Taking a whole vent with them.
Oh yeah, it was a whole big operation.
Sounds like something Tom Cruise would try to do.
We don't need to graduate college if we can get this vent.
Yeah, the exact quote is, "It was a simple plan. A college student would crawl through an air duct at a building housing an instructor's office in the wee hours, lower himself from the ceiling, and with the help of a cohort, steal a copy of the final exam for a statistics class." And I guess the reason they got caught is because the teacher was working late and went back and found their room was locked and they could hear people inside it.
And it's worth noting that the perpetrator also told authorities he had stolen another exam from Mr. Kane's office earlier in the semester, but did not share the answers with students.
Oh,
Sure.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Why
sure.
are you gonna give up that information?
I also find it weird that he said that. Did they have evidence that he had done that?
I don't know. I kind of think because he also entered the office around 6 p.m. on Tuesday but couldn't find the exam, so they went back later. But it's worth noting that all 3 times he broke in through the air ducts. So he had 2 successful air duct journeys.
2 out of
So
3?
I kind of think he was giving the cops that information just to like prove how badass he was.
Yeah.
In some ways, this kid is my hero.
I mean, that's something we've all dreamed of at one. I mean, even though I've never actually wanted myself to go and crawl into a duct. it's-
Claustrophobic.
I know, yeah. But you see it in movies, so it's like something that because
Hard
it's built up
specifically.
so much, it's. I mean, not only Die Hard. There's any number of movies. Go ahead.
I have a story like this that I got away like nowhere near in this scope. I didn't steal any answers or anything, but I had a teacher in college that was very like, okay, this is when we're gonna take the test. Like, if you're not here, I'm sorry. That's all. There's nothing I can do about it. And it was an 8 a.m. class, and I slept through the class on a test day.
Mm.
And then I woke up. I saw the time on the clock, and I was like, "Are you shaking your head no at me? You didn't even vote. You posted a I voted sticker on
Why do you
Facebook."
take an 8 Why'd you take an 8 a.m. class
Change
knowing
the subject.
Because I really like this
he's
teacher.
got in the chamber at all times? It's okay. I voted everyone. I have a picture to prove it.
He's a really good teacher. I liked him a lot. It was literature of the African diaspora.
How do you spell that last word?
diaspora.
Was that
Can
the
we get a
class or
check? Can
the?
we get a spell check on that?
It's a combination of diarrhea and neosporin.
Oh,
That's what I just did over break.
And before the break.
Yeah, before the break.
Okay,
oh,
so
but the mic didn't pick that up. By the way, I mentioned briefly during the show about the 10-10 mark. I pooped myself a little bit. It's a little bit of poop,
But was
and I was
little bit of
waiting
poop.
like Sydney, please call break.
is that
Please call-"
factual?
No, so
it was like in the holding area, not quite.
yeah, no, exactly.
In
Because
the
the first
pig
thing I
shit.
did was check my underwear, and there were no stains.
Yeah, but your butt cheeks.
But it
Oh,
was that
man.
kind of thing where it's like, yeah,
You had starburst.
I did. I had a whole yellow starburst. It's because you gave me the lemon one, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we saw what
my
you were doing there,
God.
getting rid of the lemon ones.
So I sleep through my 8 a.m. class. And as soon as I get up, I realize what time it is. I go, ooh, and I go back to sleep for a little bit. And I get up and I email the professor, and I go, oh my God, I am so sorry. I've been so sick. I was up all night throwing up. I was fine. But I told him I was up all night throwing up. I had diarrhea. I'm
Between
sorry.
diaspora?
Yeah, I had diaspora. And if there's anything I can do, if not, I completely understand. And he had been so like staunchly like, no, like if you're, you have to be in the class. And then he emails me back and he goes, Tyler, it's all right. My family's been going through the same thing lately. And I felt like such a monster.
so how? I didn't get how the vent story translated.
Oh, because he said, yeah, you can just come in and, we won't count that. Like, we'll count your next test and it'll average in. It's a smaller amount averaging in. So it's like I got away with something that I shouldn't have got away
and
with.
then you showed up, and then he crawled through your butthole like an air duct.
Mm-hmm. But
there we go.
But then I was coming back to the office, so he had to turn around and go out before I got back.
But at least you didn't like give him an excuse like my grandma just died, and then he said, "Oh yeah, my family's been going through the same thing." That would have been way worse.
I wonder if like he would just like always take whatever excuse it was, but then just say, "Oh, my family's been going through that," and that way, hopefully the guilt would be worth it.
My whole family's going through the same thing. The whole family.
That's just his canned response.
Wow,
yeah.
your whole family lost their brothers. That's man.
He just goes, "Oh, Control V. Sorry, my family's been going through the same thing.
Auto
You can make it
response.
up.
Yeah.
My whole family got the diasporas."
Sorry, my uncle was a war hero. We just had his funeral a few days ago. Oh yeah, man, my family's been going through the exact same thing.
Oh, Control V.
So, I mean, I kind of agree with Drew. I don't know if that's up to the caliber. Not that you were purporting that that's
I
to
was
the
just
caliber.
trying to
of-
make content, guys. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, hey, grade my story.
I mean, I think not to try to one up you, but along the lines
Oh,
of
you won't, because I will make sure this doesn't count.
one time I was in a class and I didn't realize that it was a test day.
Ooh, not that good.
So, like 2 minutes before the test started, I got up and walked out. I knew that me coming up with whatever excuse I could, like had the diaspora or my family was sick, would have been better than sitting through and getting like a 30 on the test, whatever would have been.
Yeah.
The teacher's family was sick. It was just me on my side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember one time we had a test, and then I realized I didn't go to college. So, does that stack up? Is that a good story?
I have a pretty good story in terms of
okay.
test.
I hate everyone. You went to college.
I did.
In middle school, we had this pretty like serious science teacher. Like he took his science teaching very seriously. He's like the only middle school teacher that was passionate about teaching science.
The only one that didn't hate himself for
and,
being there.
What did he teach? General science, or is this like a chemistry?
General
biology?
science.
Okay.
This is 8th grade science.
So we're talking fulcrums and whatnot.
I don't know, dude.
Okay.
And he also he taught science and social studies, but science was his thing. And so anyway, he's absent today. We have a substitute, one of those like not spry old women, and someone snatches a copy of like the test answer key off the desk and like passes it around the room during the test, and everyone's cheating. And there's one girl in the class, the teacher's pet, Stephanie Shepard, and she tells on us. The next day when the teacher came back, she told everybody, or she told the teacher, and then he failed everybody on that test.
Even her?
No, except her.
Wow.
And then
See, I was a quiet kid because I can imagine I wouldn't take the test answers, but I'd still be like,
yeah.
that's the thing. I'm shooting it up now.
His teacher's name was Mr. Sauceman, and then
Mr. what?
Mr. Sauceman.
Yes.
Yeah, and then years later, she goes to early college, and then I go to the regular high school, and so we don't see each other for the next 4 years. But then we're all taking SATs, our last year of high school, and I see her in the same room as me. She's sitting next to me, right before the woman walks in the room to say, all right, everybody, no more talking. Let's start the test, whatever. Me and Stephanie are having a conversation or whatever. Kind of, just hey, how you been? How's it going? Or whatever. And then she's like, how's high school? I'm like, pretty good. And then I was like,
should have been horrible ever since Mr. Sauceman failed me on that test.
No, and then I said something to her right before the lady said okay, no more talking or whatever. Right before that happened, I was like, hey, Stephanie Shepard. I was like, or hey, Stephanie, how's Mr. Sauceman doing? I was like, and then she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you took his virginity, didn't you? All right, take out your number 2 pencils.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
You probably got 40 points lower than she would have normally. 'Cause she was in her own head.
You're kind of a monster.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, though.
Mine's not nearly as exciting, but I'll go with it anyway. In chemistry in high school.
There's a lot of build up here, Tanner. You got a lot to live up to.
Yeah. In chemistry in high school, there was a test on chemical formulas. So I had the genius idea, and this was my last class of the day. I had the genius idea to print out a small sheet that listed each chemical formula and what they corresponded to, and I taped it to my wrist. I was wearing a hoodie, and so I taped it to my wrist so I could just do this during the test. Someone had tried something like that earlier in the day, so the teacher's like, if I see any of you cheating, I will fail you immediately. I will fail your last test even if you got a good grade on it. So during that whole test, I'm not even trying to cheat. I'm just trying to keep him from seeing that I have the thing because I didn't have time to take it off. It was a great plan that was going to work.
Was that the only time you tried cheating in high school?
Oh God, no! I only passed my Spanish exam in high school because I cheated. I remember specifically. I would have failed otherwise.
I went through Spanish at the exact right time where they were cutting. They were getting rid of teachers that had poor test grades.
Mm-hmm.
So my Spanish teacher was like, "Screw it. If I'm getting judged based strictly on my test scores," she read us the answers, and she's like, "Now be smart. Miss a couple." We're like, okay. I mean, I was going to get a 60 on this, but you're going to give me a 90? Yeah, all right.
I had a bunch of friends who sat with me in Spanish 1 were all fluent in Spanish 1, so they pretty much helped me cheat to get away with it. And then I went into Spanish 2 with none of them and was screwed. I didn't know anything for Spanish 2.
I had a similar thing. The college entrance exam that grades you on your past
Language
foreign
stuff,
language, it's broken because they have
It's broken.
every question fully in Spanish. Every answer fully in Spanish, and there's no I don't know answer.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
'Cause
it's the question, and then it's is it this answer or this answer?
Jesus.
And then so if you guess wrong, like me, you get placed in a 201.
Purely off guessing?
Yeah.
Did you
Hey,
did you have the option to let people know that you didn't know it? Or?
I should have raised my hand and been like, I don't like.
I don't understand any
I
of this.
took Spanish 4 and they didn't teach me how to read in paragraphs.
Yeah, yeah, that's hilarious.
Tanner, were you gonna say something?
no.
Okay.
I wish it would have come out that Stephanie ended up cheating on her SAT. She broke in and stole the answer key for the SAT.
Oh, see, sorry.
And now he does.
Well, no, it's just that I pooped myself at the SAT. The first one. I went
I'm
to.
starting
This is a
to see
running
a pattern
theme.
here.
Yeah. Well, because
do you have a sneaky bowel, or are you
Yeah.
just like I can
Is
can manhandle it?
no.
Is
So
this sphinx-
I
is
went
your
to. It
sphincter
was a high
going?
school I had never been to before. Because they make you take it in. A
You're like I
different
can't
place.
poop here. I don't
And
know the surroundings.
I was kind of late because I was trying to find the place. I stepped out of my car, and as I had my one leg out, I sneezed and pooped a bit in my
and
pants.
then you put the leg back in the car and drove home.
No, I was already late for the SAT, so I ran into the SAT and took the first half with poop in my pants.
Oh,
You have the anal tone of a 75-year-old man.
I do. Oh man, I'm glad the camera was on Tyler, by the way, because we just saw some of his butt.
and
Yeah.
and it was smellable poop.
I don't know. I don't smell my own poop, but I assume it had a bad smell to it.
Jeez,
But
man.
yeah, I didn't get to like correct that until the break,
Oh
where
my
you actually got
God.
to go to the
I
bathroom.
took an SAT next to a dude who was sniffling the whole time, but I still would prefer that.
dude,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
always one of those people.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
me. It was me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally. By the end of it, there was a pile of tissues that was no lie, half as tall as the desk was.
Do-
Just a
do you
pile
guys-
of used tissues.
Do you
Well,
ever
you can't go anywhere. You gotta do
Yeah.
it.
Do you ever notice that, like, in a class, when one person sniffs, suddenly everyone feels like, okay, if someone did it, now I can do it
Yeah.
too. And you hear one sniffle, and then like everyone's like,
I do remember that.
Well,
yeah.
I used to do it when there was someone sniffling. Like someone would sniffle, and I'd immediately sniffle after them, like
On purpose?
Every time they like just sniffle.
No, you're a monster, Cameron. You were a bully. You are a bully.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
Psychological bully. Yeah. Yeah, Cam
still a
changed the
bully.
game. Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying Cam was ahead of
He
the
was
curve.
only a
Yeah.
bully half the
I was a
time.
game-changing bully.
Yeah,
That's what-
yeah. He knew that they were edging out that the physical bullying, so he really got into people's psyches.
Yeah, I
He
did.
was cyberbullying before there was cyber.
How many men on the street interviews did you do where you just tried to undermine the person you were interviewing?
50.
Minimum.
How many total
You were
episodes
prom
did
king. I hate you. I hate you, Cameron Smith. You're a monster.
That's true. I'm not going to dispute any of that.
You
is
would
true,
you
yeah.
would
King of South
smell that Tanner pooped his pants,
Oh,
and you'd
I have
make
a-
an announcement.
I have a
Yep.
poop-related prob story.
no,
really?
I'm not even
Why?
kidding.
Hold
It's
on.
not my
Dude,
poop
okay.
this time.
Well,
It's
someone
not my
tried to poop in an oven. We heard this one already.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
we did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good memory. But
Yeah.
before we move on, how many times ballpark have you pooped yourself, Tanner?
Oh, ballpark.
They're gonna ask everybody. I got a little nervous.
Yeah.
Once
I
a
want
week.
some-
I probably not.
Tanner's just ridiculously
Mine,
shameless
I can
with this.
count on my hand how many times
Same
I've
here.
I
pooped
was
my
about to
pants
say,
as
I'm
an
wondering
As
if
an
I know
adult.
it would take at least two hands.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it would, or sorry, it would take at least one hand.
To
I'm wondering
clean
if
it or to count?
to count. It would take at least one hand to count.
So wait, what counts as pooping your pants? We needed it.
Any time you have to change underwear is pooping your pants.
Oh.
I'd say
No, I'm not even gonna. I would say any time that you convince yourself, like I would even consider what Tanner just said as pooping yourself because he was convinced he did. So
Okay.
even if it doesn't warrant an underwear change, I would say
I wasn't convinced, but I've had some questions.
I've had to clean my own poop off of a carpet at age 22.
I think I remember you telling me about this at some point.
right now.
23.
You're 22.
No, I'm
I
23.
pooed in my bed a little bit when I had food poisoning about a month
That's
ago.
reasonable.
Yeah, see, like it
But
just-
Tanner's just like,
That was just a Wednesday for Tanner.
Tanner's like, I gotta finish this episode.
But it was when you were really drunk, right?
No, I was barely. I
Oh.
had barely had anything
I had
to
a
drink.
beer.
Two glasses of wine.
Basically, I'd had like
Drink
two
some orange
maybe
juice.
three
wine and I
beers.
pooped on the floor.
Yeah, it was a really weird thing too, running to Walmart to get the cleaning supplies and
Did
just like
you?
in a panic mode.
Did you have a roommate at the time? Was this in
No,
the
I
living
was
area?
living alone. Thank God.
Oh.
Did you
Okay.
clean yourself before you went to Walmart, or did
Yeah,
you just
but
SAT
well, the problem
it?
was like I had to make my way to the toilet, right, to like get the rest out. But since I was living
Use a
alone,
spoon.
no, since I was living alone, I kept the toilet seat up. So without like looking, because it was in such a desperate run, I ran into the bathroom and sat and fell in the toilet, and now I'm just bathing in my own poop.
Oh, man. What is it about
Please
situations?
write a book about this.
I could. I have enough poop stories. I love like I
I'd
don't know.
read
The
it.
title would be like, I think I pooed a little.
What is it about situations like that where they just can't help but escalate themselves?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
because
yeah,
you're not
it was-
thinking clearly. You're
Oh,
in
yeah.
a rush, and
Uh-huh.
you make more mistakes.
Well, because I remember at the Walmart, like I'm like, okay, I need club soda, and the only club soda they had were glass bottles.
Club
so
soda
it,
gets
so you're
pooped
using
right out
like
of
Perrier and like
yeah, basically. So I'm at this point, I'm in Walmart, and I snatch the club soda off the shelf, and it all falls and cracks. and
Oh
shatters.
my god!
Why are you not telling this on stage?
For real?
man?
Yeah.
I
This
used
sounds
to.
made up.
I haven't told this bit in a long time,
Yeah,
but
I think-
I did tell. I didn't ever really got into the Walmart bit, but it's true. I used to do the pooping bit.
I
on
think that's
stage.
why I knew it. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I've
'cause I
heard
did
you-
it,
I know
yeah.
I've heard you tell
I've done
it
it a-
before.
I-
Ever
I've-
listen to you on stage? This
Jesus.
isn't. Tell me these things in person like a human.
See, these are like I feel like if you pitch this to like a movie studio, they'd be like, "No, that's too unrealistic."
Oh,
man.
agreed.
You got to just have one of these
The,
things.
the stars lined up for that night for everything that
Oh,
happened.
jeez, man. So
you win if that helps.
You definitely
You finally
win.
topped us.
I mean, I don't know if you call it winning.
like
but
I said, I wasn't even going to ask anyone else. Tanner's just
to
ridiculous.
keep in mind, I did start off a story with I faked being sick, and it ended with that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I am curious though, Cameron. When you pooped the bed, did you find out immediately, or did you like roll around?
Oh
in it?
yeah, I mean it was like the I was mid sleep and like I felt like a cold or whatever, like
A
thing
cold
by like
wetness.
almost like I felt like a bug was crawling on me or something. And then
You would
like
just smack it.
and then like I think I was like laying on my side or something, and then like but it was like watery enough to just kind of like fall out and leak. It was just like a little bit of watery poop got on the bed.
Welcome to Prime Nation Live, May 9th, the day
I
that Prime
know.
Nation lost all their listeners.
I wish that we had known that we were going into this, so we could have given a warning beforehand.
What
but-
did you eat that gave you food poisoning? Was it TB?
It was right after I got back from Charleston, and that day I had a bunch of miscellaneous stuff from my kitchen.
I do remember
but-
you were sick that day.
But I think the thing, I tried to come in here the next day
Mhm.
because I didn't I woke up that morning and was in denial that I was.
So that
sick.
was the morning that you pooped yourself.
No,
Okay.
I think it was the next day as I was like still feeling sick, but like, or maybe it was later that day after I napped. I think it was when I went home and napped for a while and woke up. That's probably when it was.
I have some shame, so I'll tell my story when we're on break.
Okay, I have a pretty good one before we get to break. It just happened.
No good.
I can't
poop
remember where I was
pants.
going.
This isn't a poop story, but it just happened last week. It's along the lines of Cameron's. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I swore we have 2 cats and I swore I smelled cat pee, but I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I woke my girlfriend up because she's better at sniffing it out than I am.
Hey, good. Pee, go.
And we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And it only happened whenever I would lift up the blanket. I like to sleep with my blanket over my head, and I only smelled it then.
You were Dutch oven or something?
Yeah, pretty much with the cat pee. So I just convinced myself that it must be like at the foot of the bed or something, but I wanted to go back to sleep. So I woke up the next morning. It was a weekend, and I got out of bed, and I found out that our cat had peed right underneath where I was sleeping. So my back was on the cat pee all night. That's why I couldn't
That's why
find
you
it.
don't have cats, dude.
So I don't know
That's a power play.
how he did it. Yeah, really. He was trying to get me in trouble. He was trying to convince my girlfriend that
you
I'm
peed the
incontinent. Yeah, luckily cat pee smells distinct enough. But I don't know how or when he did it. I must have been on my side, and he just seized the opportunity and peed right then. It was a lot of pee, too, from a little cat.
that PP.
And then I rolled back over it and just coated myself in cat urine all
Ah.
night.
Well,
Yeah, not a
one
good
time-
experience.
It isn't poop related, but it's vomit related.
Ooh.
Remember those students at stealing the exam?
Well, this was taking a final exam. I was
Oh,
at
okay.
community college, and it was anatomy and physiology final exam. You had, thank you.
Go to town.
And it was stations. You had to go from station to station, and each one had like a bone or something you had to identify. And I had the stomach flu and I had been pooping myself all day before that at home
Mm-hmm.
in the privacy of my own bathroom.
But not pooping
like
your
people
pants.
should. Not
Just-
on the
yeah,
carpet,
yeah,
not in
yeah.
the pants. And I went in, and I was like, "You'll be fine. Just you can get through 45 minutes."
Just don't strain in any way.
Right. And I was worried about pooping myself. The vomiting hadn't even started yet. So
Uh,
midway through, I feel it, and I'm like, "Oh no!" And I raise my hand, and I tell the teacher, and I'm like, "I need to go real quick." And she's like, "If you leave, you turn in your test, and that's what you get." And we were like halfway through. I was like, "I can't afford to take a 50 on the final exam."
Yeah.
And that's
so
if you got everyone right.
right, and so which we all know probably wasn't happening. And so I tried to force it down and go to the next station, and the next station I threw up in my mouth. And I'm like running to the back to try to get the top off of the trash can, and I throw up again.
No.
And it goes up onto the ceiling and all down my shirt.
It actually hit the ceiling?
Yeah.
Oh.
And all only a lot of the students are concentrating, and only like 3 or 4 of them are like, "Oh."
Wait, how does
Who
your
caught
throw up
that
hit the
show?
ceiling?
Because I went like this. And
It's
it
like a
went
water
straight
hose.
and
Oh
straight
my
down.
You know, you
God.
put the pressure on it. Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then I threw up on top of the thing because I couldn't get the lid off. And then I finally throw the lid off. Vomit goes everywhere. And I throw up in it. And I take my shirt off and throw it in there. And I turned around to the teacher, and I was so mad. I
Yeah.
was like, "Are you happy now?" And
Exactly.
she's like, "Please leave. Please leave." And I'm like,
oh
okay.
my god.
You're like, I can't. My
What did-
test.
So yeah, what happened
Yeah,
with
what'd
your
you get?
test?
She let me take it the next day.
And then
Oh,
surely they had to have offered the other students to retest too.
Nah,
how distracting
they
that
powered
was.
through
I
it.
love that story though because teachers do that all the time,
Yep.
and they just like try to pass out like, "Sorry, I have this policy." Like, all right, you're about to bring on some real gross
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And then I threw up everywhere. She's like, no, you can come back tomorrow. Yeah.
I don't know. Can you?
And
I
I
hate that.
I hope
I
that
hate
she
that.
was in there when the janitors had to come and clean your vomit off the ceiling.
What
I
was
hope
great
she
is
was
because
in
you know
there.
in science you have a lecture teacher and then a lab teacher.
oh,
And she was my lab
Maybe
teacher.
your fancy high school. I
And
don't
right
know.
when I was
Yeah, that was
throwing
only when I got
up,
to college.
my lecture teacher was there grading papers, and the sheer shock on her face, like. And it turns out the lady that told me I couldn't go to the bathroom hit a kid like 2 semesters later and got fired.
Oh Jesus!
So she
huh.
was just a terrible person.
Sounds like it. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up our body fluid segment. Like, we'll come
I
back.
have one I'll tell you guys about on break that I can't tell you on the show.
We might get around to some pop culture and nerd culture that we have planned, but who knows where this next segment will take us.
this
But-
episode's already been a whirlwind. I can't wait to see where it leads next.
all right, guys. So stick around to find out yourselves. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. Back from our second break. It's May 9th, Prime Nation Live. Looks like YouTube is having some issues, so I'm not entirely sure if this is going out live right now, but fear not, we'll record it and be posting it up later today anyway. So hopefully we can stay more or less on track in this the remaining hour,
Or we just jump into nerd culture.
but we'll see. Yeah, let's we pretty much talked about the worthwhile stuff in pop culture, so we'll save the rest of the stuff for next time. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into nerd culture with Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I haven't seen it yet.
Drew's not seen it. Cameron, have you seen it?
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
I have.
Are you guys going to be mind some spoilers?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Fine. Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it either way. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just pumped. I finally saw Deadpool. So
Okay.
Nice.
Gotcha. What
I'm not
prompted
big
that?
on- I'm not. I'm trying to get more into movies. I don't watch movies. I'm not up to date on things, so I'm trying to stay more up to date on things by watching a movie that is 2 years
A
old.
year
at this
old,
point,
yeah.
you know?
Oh, it beats me. The other day I watched The King of Comedy, trying to catch up. So
I just watched that.
Who's that?
The
Robert
Blue
De Niro,
Collar
Martin
Comedy Tour.
Scorsese movie. It's
Blue
really
Collar
good.
Comedy Tour, the original?
The original. Yeah.
Man. So Guardians of the Galaxy 2 opened this weekend. Does anyone know what it made? Tanner, do you know?
No,
I want to
probably a lot.
I'll look
say
that
it's
up.
made about 400 million total so far.
Really?
125
I
domestically.
think you're right, like
Yeah.
430 or something like that. Against a
Yeah, I'll
$200
get the
million
stat.
budget. So
Yeah, so right now it looks like it made just domestically 223.2 million.
Oof. I saw it twice.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I'd like to see it again before it ends.
I'm definitely seeing it a second time for sure. I saw the first one 4 times.
In theaters?
Yeah.
Good God.
Although in fairness, they were all for free because I worked at a movie theater at the time.
I was about to say, dude,
okay.
who's got money like that?
Yeah, really.
I mean, I'm gonna pay to see Guardians 2 twice. I'm gonna see it again for sure.
If you're off today, there's Stimulus Tuesdays at. Well, never mind. It's AMC
it's
now.
AMC
Never
now.
mind.
I
I
saw
guess
the
those
Dark
Stimulus
Knight.
Tuesdays didn't work.
I saw The Dark Knight 3 times in theaters. The first one was free. A friend of mine and I won like a radio giveaway and got to see it in this really swanky theater for free. But then I paid to see it twice. I obviously love that movie.
My
But-
mom and my grandma went to Forrest Gump 4 times.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
a good movie.
Actually, I saw Civil War at least twice in theaters, maybe even 3 times in theaters.
I had to see the original Captain America twice because this is during a summer in high school where I just go to movies by myself every weekend. And then I saw that and I left before the end credits. And then I was like, I went back and I read something. I was like, oh no. And I had to go back and watch it.
What was the end credit in that
It was
first
the
Captain America?
teaser for the Avengers. It was a full-on teaser for the first Avengers movie.
What was it
Nick
though?
Fury shows up and all that.
No, it was a full. Well, Nick Fury showed up, but it showed Iron Man, Thor. It was a trailer. It was a
Oh.
full-on teaser trailer for the Avengers.
Huh.
I don't remember what it was. I just remember being alone.
I remember being like crazy hyped and seeing it, and just the audience screaming. So
I saw Ice Age 2: The Meltdown 4 times in theaters.
Who was forcing you to do that?
First time was voluntarily. Second time was I wanted to see it again. Third time was for a field trip.
You just love Dennis Leary that much?
And fourth time was just for sips and giggles.
Well, this was a different time
You were so stupid.
when money could be wasted like that. I guess.
by the way, I have a more accurate Guardians number. 145 million domestically. Keep in mind that is just domestically. Worldwide
And just
is
weekend.
crazy. Yeah. So yeah.
How much was it total?
Yeah, what's worldwide?
I
I thought that was the news you had for us.
No.
Tanner stammers when he's not talking about pooping himself.
You know what? You've got a very good point. When I'm talking about pooping myself, I know exactly.
Standard Tammers.
I know exactly what I am.
Now,
and what I
do you
want.
think, as a wrestling fan,
431 million.
Nice.
do you think that this is the best role played by a former professional wrestler?
Yeah.
And Batista?
Dave Bautista is amazing in the Guardians movies.
It's because he's not that good of an actor as a wrestler, and they're like, oh, we need someone who has no range of emotion for Drax.
Exactly,
And they're like, oh,
yeah.
boom, we got him.
You don't really have to be that good of an actor. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But he also plays off the comedic timing really well. Like I thought he's just nailing the comedy aspect of
That's
it.
more directing and editing.
Yeah.
That's probably.
I mean,
nailing that.
not to say that he doesn't have talent. He definitely has talent for
No,
sure.
he has
but
none.
but like I think it's a stretch to try to compare Batista's role to Chris Pratt's or something like that.
I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying that I think you're saying Bautista can't act. I think he is acting. He's probably only good for this role. But
no one
I
said
think
he can't act.
I said he doesn't have a wide range of emotions.
I insinuated.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Cameron said he couldn't.
But anyway, so
They're like, hey, we're going to need you to scream in a monotone way. The entire time he's like, I got it.
and he definitely has comedic chops. That's the majority of his use in this movie. Whereas the last movie, they kind of capitalized on his rage and everything like that. He was pretty much was only comic relief in this movie.
Except, no, he had a sad moment.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Which played well. Him and Mantis's relationship, I like that a lot.
There's a lot of great pairings in this movie.
True.
And again, I don't want to. I mean, mild spoilers.
Well, let's. Yeah, I kind of want to start from the beginning, and we're gonna go ahead and spoiler alert. We're gonna spoil multiple things about Guardians of the Galaxy.
If you fellas want to plug your ears.
The great thing is y'all can tell me what happens. I'm not gonna remember it. But
Yeah.
I just really liked. They paired off Rocket with Yondu. That was a great pairing.
Yondu's story was my favorite.
See, the great thing is I don't know who Yondu is. So.
Yeah.
Michael
Have you
Rooker,
seen the first one?
Yeah, I've seen the first one.
All right, Blue Man.
guy. Yeah.
There were a couple of them.
There was a few blue guys.
Dude from Walking Dead.
It talks like this.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
that was good. That was really good, Tanner.
That's the only time I'll ever do it.
No, I'm just doing Stone Cold.
I want Stone Cold
Stone Cold said
and
so.
Michael Rooker in a room together doing impressions of each other.
But I think Yondu's story was the strongest one told in the sequel, and you don't really see many movies that glorify stepdads. I was happy to see that. Like that was.
I didn't view him as a stepdad. I didn't view him as a father figure at all until this movie.
Yeah,
Same
which
here. Yeah.
Totally worked though, and I guess because I don't want to. I know this is kind of going all over the place, but I also really liked Ego's character. Not like I liked the character, but Russell. What was his name? Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell Crowe.
Yeah, exactly. Kurt Russell Crowe played him really, really well. I actually thought he was. And this is super spoilery, I guess. So careful. I thought he's one of the best Marvel movie villains. I really liked him as a villain.
I liked him a lot. I thought that I don't know. It seemed to me like they could have done. I liked everything that they did with that. It seemed to me like they could have done a little more. But I don't have any issues with that. Like I felt like there was more to that to be explored than what they got to.
I feel like
they did have a lot of ground to cover with all the other characters, but I feel like the father-son aspect of the movie was kind of rushed with the two of them.
They did everything they could with the time they had. I feel like they did a very good job with the hour and a half, 2 hours that they did.
Yeah, and I mean, I think
there's only so much they could have done without breaking it into two movies.
And they made it an ensemble type thing as opposed to having his story stand out. So I mean, that's the only thing is that when you have a character like Ego, the Living Planet, I felt like if you wanted to, and they didn't really focus on him being like the big bad. It was all sort of everyone dealing with their own issues. So I don't have a problem with it, like I said, but I feel like to explore Ego, the Living Planet in a movie, it could have used a little bit more time dedicated to it.
How would you have done that?
By dedicating less time to other people. I mean, I'm not saying that I would have done it any better. I'm just saying that
he was the majority of the movie.
Another critique of his that I had, which is like a bigger critique of Cosmic Marvel, is like how did Kurt Russell just guess what humans looked like in the 70s?
I did not like that.
Yeah.
That bothered me so much. He's like, I created what I thought a human being would be.
It also
and then
really
he goes to another alien planet.
Exactly.
That was weird.
It also really bothers me that all of the beings in Guardians of the Galaxy are so humanoid.
Mhm.
Like, even if they look different, like even Howard the Duck is pretty much an anthropomorphized.
You're right, but that's also a Cosmic Marvel Star Trek thing. That's just been the case for since those things have been created.
But like then you have like the Chitauri and stuff like that too that are.
It was almost implied that Ego was like incredibly like superhumanly intelligent, but then at times it took him 15 minutes to find them on him.
Exactly.
That was
yeah.
where I was
Yeah.
weirded out. That I was like, how do you not know what's going on your body all the time?
Especially whenever Gamora and Nebula were like blowing up the inside of his
I was
body.
like, he should be sending people over. Why could he only make one of himself?
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
No, see,
But he can morph into someone else.
That is a great point.
Now-
Yeah.
you're so right, but I didn't care.
No, yeah.
At times it is just that.
Yeah,
fun.
this is we're grasping at straws. It's a great movie. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. There were little things that I had.
The
issue
pacing
with,
in the
but-
first third to me felt like a rushed fanfic.
I thought so too. It was,
Yeah.
but now, again, I did
A lot
like
of
it, but
fan
I
service.
felt like there was too many callbacks. Admittedly, I think to the first one, and I love that first one. I think I've said it before. It's my favorite blockbuster in probably the last decade. But I still felt like, all right, we get it. We remember the original. You
Yeah.
don't have to keep reminding us how much we love the original. Yeah.
The one thing that really bothered me was that they said the SH word a couple times.
Mhm.
They said ass a couple times, and I think they might have said a-hole a couple times. I don't know. No,
Yeah,
they definitely said
yeah.
douchebags a couple times. But they're when they go into the asteroid field, like 2 or 3 times, someone goes "son of a," and that's it. And I'm like, are you serious?
That's where you're gonna draw the line.
I'm like, yeah, that bothered me a little bit because
Yeah.
I'm like, if you've got the other curse words in there already, why are you playing to like it's supposed to be a kids movie or something?
Yeah.
It has its drawbacks, but I liked it.
Also,
Overall.
because I feel like again we're focusing so much on negative, even though we liked so much
Well,
of it.
because I hope we're gonna get around to the praise of it.
Oh, yeah,
it's
but
like
I just
90-10 for me. Praise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
versus
I just
critique.
want to get to.
This
I mean,
just
my big.
this is stuff that I actually saw, and like when I saw it, it wasn't me overthinking. It's like I saw it and I was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
that is like taking me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say 2 of my biggest complaints were that at the end of the day, as much as I do actually like the plot of this movie, because I think it is almost more intimate. It's about these characters more. It really delves into who they are and their flaws. The premise is like 100 Star Trek episodes. You've seen this. I've seen this premise done in classic sci-fi over and over. Again, done really well, but it's that same premise of Paradise World that turns out not to be paradise.
Yeah.
And also, I thought
get off of this planet.
Yeah. I thought the pop culture references were a bit. There were some where I'm like, okay, this is especially
The Pac-Man one was kind of ridiculous.
the Pac-Man one and the Cheers one. I felt like went on way too long, and I was actually
for a serious moment.
Yeah,
especially, yeah.
Not, the best part of that is that Gamora says, "I don't know what Cheers is," and I'm like, that kind of says a lot, though. That says that.
And there even was a moment there at the end where they could have called back to Cheers that I felt like would have been appropriate, but they didn't. Like, and I can't remember what it is now, so I need to see it again so I can remember that. But there was a moment, I can't remember if they used the word Cheers or maybe something about Sam and Diane or something. I don't know.
No major spoilers here, but did you guys cry? I teared up.
I teared up with
Yeah.
Yondu. Yeah.
I remember that Tyler, we texted each other like after seeing it, and the part that got me, I didn't cry, but for some reason the biggest emotional point for me was when Fleetwood Mac's "The Chain" starts playing. When he realizes like his powers,
Same
and he
here,
says
man.
The thing about his mom is Walkman, and also because I actually did have and still have a CD from when I was about 10 years old, a mixtape essentially called "Awesome."
Oh, nice.
I actually still have it in my car, and I still listen to it every now and again.
That's
So-
another small critique of mine is I wish they would have made that sequence longer because like when you have
I
that
thought
song,
so too. That was I'm like it was
God,
over
man.
too quickly.
yeah. Man,
Oh, which opening credits do you prefer? This or the originals?
original.
What do you mean?
I mean, both of the opening credits are like, classic pop
Characters
song
dancing.
and characters dancing.
I liked what they did with this one. How in
I
the
don't-
background in the first one it was Peter Quill dancing, and he was like kicking all the little raptor things and stuff.
And this time it's Baby Groot.
That's right.
yeah. So
Baby Groot was a bit too much for me. I'm
Dude,
gonna be honest with you. That was a little too much.
I think they leaned too much on Baby Groot throughout the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Although that scene, the scene where they're on the Ravager ship and they
Yeah.
have him steal something,
That was good.
I was
Yeah.
cracking up the
Yeah.
entire time.
I think that was well done, but like
Yeah.
too much of it we already knew. It's like, oh, a little teaser at the end of the first movie with him dancing around. Okay, that's cool. But then it's like, oh, he's the entire, not the entire focus, but like, okay, so second time I watched it, they were just like a basket of deplorables behind me in the theater. There was like 8-10 people. One of the dudes talked like the entire time, like not too bad, but like loud enough that I was like, all right, is this guy gonna keep talking? He burped loudly, and then he dropped his gauge and had to turn on his phone flashlight.
Jesus.
Oh God,
Out of
that
his
was
ear?
that tweet or Facebook post I saw from you.
So same
man.
guy does all this, and then their entire group just laughs really loudly at the Groot thing. And I'm like, oh, that's who you're appealing
That's
towards.
your comedy,
okay, I
yeah.
gotcha. Okay, great.
Yeah, and that to me is sort of a problem that I wanted to get to. My biggest problem with this movie, and again, is a very small problem compared to how much I like the movie.
Yeah.
There was just like, and I get that all these characters are essentially caricatures, but there was no understatement in this movie. Everything was over the top. Like it seemed, and to me,
I feel like Gamora was well grounded.
That's
She was
true.
probably
That is
about the only
true.
one. Mantis, she had a fish out of water thing going, but I don't think she was that bad off. Drax, they tried like. I don't know what happened in between the first movie and the second movie that made him just the happy-go-lucky thing that
For
he is
real,
now.
yeah.
I was really confused by that.
Yeah.
I actually kind of bought into that because I remember at the end of the first movie he started being kind of
let go
Yeah.
of
yeah.
family rage and stuff. And you're right, they did touch on the immense sadness that he
Yeah.
still feels, which was good.
I actually think the whole father-son thing was really well done with the whole movie. I mean,
Yeah.
Ego,
I agree.
Chris Pratt, and
Yondu.
Yondu.
But real quick, just to wrap up what I was saying, like every single scene, like especially all of Sean Gunn's scene, which is to be expected from Sean Gunn, but like all the Ravager scenes, even the Sovereign scenes, which like the Sovereign, in my mind, they're supposed to be stoic and held
nothing
together.
had a tone of like seriousness to
Yeah,
it.
like
The-
even when she laughed at the Taserface thing, I would have thought it was way better if she had an understated laugh as opposed to the crack up that she did.
I like if it would have just been and then the explosion.
Exactly.
That would have been a lot better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to me, it seemed like they were trying to put that low-hanging fruit to a certain group of people,
Yeah.
like the ones who sat behind you.
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest issue that I had. But overall, it's a very small issue in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Tanner, what were you just about to bring
Actually,
up?
there is a joke I really, you know what? There's a joke I really like that I felt like they screwed up the rule of three punchline, and that's when they capture Nebula. She wants that
It's
fruit.
not ripe.
It's not ripe.
Yeah.
And then they do a great second job
Yeah.
where Drax kicks it out of the way and just very calmly says, "It's not ripe." And I was laughing at that. And then when she takes a bite of it, I was wondering how they were going to play it off. And then she very seriously says, "It's not ripe." I personally would have. And this is totally Monday. What is it like? Armchair quarterbacking.
Armchair.
Yeah.
Armchair directing or armchair writing, and maybe you guys will disagree. That was such a, and this is such a nitpick, but I just felt like if I was writing that, I would have had her take a bite and just kind of been like, "Damn it."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have had her say it's not ripe.
Or even like had her take a bite and then spit it out and ignore it, because it seemed way out of character for her to take a bite, spit it out, and then say it's not ripe. Like she
yeah.
had to justify that to anyone. So then you could have just had like one of the Ravagers be like, "Must not be ripe" or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's meant for comedic effect, and I think that they had that serious of a character do it, and then at the end she's like, "I'm gonna go murder people." And
Yeah.
like she should never be joking at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Drax's nipples.
Okay, that cracked me up though, man.
I liked how they called back to that.
But I feel like it undermined the character.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
That's not a complaint Drax would
I'm
have.
starting to think you guys didn't really like this movie.
I was
enjoyed
about
it.
to say, let's
I
move
enjoyed
on
it.
to
But no,
spot-
I think that's the mark of really enjoying something, is that you're so attached to it that you
Mm.
want to.
These are all such minor things.
For real,
I think
yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
misunderstand the meaning of like.
Yeah, we're like Jack Nelson liking.
I love
this
it
right
so
now.
much. I hate it.
Really, everything I've heard about Guardians 2 is like it's really good. I have this list of things
Yeah.
that I would change about it.
See, it's less like
But think about,
we
like-
hate these things, and it's more like these things don't make sense, and it's hard to ignore
Yeah.
how much they don't make
Well,
sense.
Also,
definitely
think of what I
seems like-
what I just said was, hey, remember that rule of three joke that they originally nailed twice but failed to capitalize on? That was my biggest problem. Like
My
it's
biggest
such a
problem was
minor-
the ego thing that he is supposed to
Oh,
be.
Yeah,
Right, but
that was
the-
a pretty
What he-
big
yeah.
logical.
Yeah.
But you're
oversight.
having so
yeah.
much fun during
Exactly.
the movie. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say to these guys. Is like the movie itself is just so fun that
And
you can definitely get past all.
It's
these
not
things.
like
It's afterwards when you think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, James Gunn is a great filmmaker, and like it's made really well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's not just like a hastily made sequel.
Yeah.
It's done
Yeah.
like there's so much thought put into it.
I guess I just don't have the passion for
Yeah.
movies like this because I watched Deadpool over the weekend. There was not a thing where I was like, you know what? If they would have done this, it would have been better.
But
I was just like,
Yeah.
it was a cool movie.
Deadpool has a weird thing that he breaks the fourth wall so much that if something doesn't make sense, he go, "That's stupid, isn't it?" and then keep going.
Yeah.
But Guardians is like, okay, we have this set of rules in this universe, and they are the way that they are, and then we're going to undermine some of them here and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we have characters set up so seriously in the first movie, and then in this one, everyone's a joke almost.
Also, I mean, the other thing is, and again, nitpick, but
And one more thing.
well, no,
I
mean, this
the
is just
whole
going with
movie.
what we
You got,
said, which is that you have a very, very powerful
Columbo.
character who doesn't use all of their power, and you're like, why?
Who's that?
Ego.
Yeah.
Where it's
It
like
does
Ego
feel like
could
he
have
was holding
totally
back.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to see it again, and I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah. Same here.
And actually, I was thinking about those opening credits again. I've been listening to that song from the opening credits since seeing that movie like over and over. Mr. Blue Sky by
I really
ELO.
loved what they did, how all the action was happening in the background, and when they were focusing on Groot in the foreground. It just like they leaned too heavily on it. I wish it would have been shorter,
Yeah.
and then I would have liked it more.
Like with the first one, it was Chris Pratt, like he was actually doing the stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
That's why I was like, Baby Groot's just.
And I like the sequences when he was like fighting with the little raptor thing and stuff.
Yeah,
But when it was
yeah.
just him, like, and he wasn't even like calling that dancing is kind of a stretch too. Like he
Yeah.
was like straight up white boy dancing
Yeah.
the whole time. But like
Gotta
I've
be white
actually
boy now.
warmed up to it the more I've thought about it. And I
Watch
need
it
to see
again. It doesn't.
No, that's fair.
It gets on your nerves more.
Yeah.
Nah, you'll hate it. Just keep watching it. You'll hate it.
I mean, yeah. Again, I really liked this movie. So which do you think is the better movie, first or
First.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
yeah, I think first is I think the second one is maybe more fun, but the first one holds up better.
Yeah,
I feel like
second one made me tear up, but the first one has
First one feels new.
it feels
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
more heart in the characters.
And I can't remember who said it first, but you guys were telling me that the first one just has so much magic in it because you're finally you get the
Mhm.
quote unquote meet cutes of all these characters and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Whereas this one, it starts off they're already a family, and I couldn't help but chuckle whenever
Drax.
whenever Drax, I was trying to think of the wrestler's name, Dave Bautista,
Yeah.
had the family
It's just
line.
Batista.
Just sorry.
And it's not spelled like his last name. It's Batista.
Oh, okay, deviating. But yeah, he had the family line, which was very emulative of Vin
Fast-
Diesel.
yeah.
Gamora had one too.
Oh,
Who?
really?
Yeah. They were arguing about Cheers.
Oh,
And he goes,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you had a family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
By the way, so I also got to say, best way to do a post-credits thing is to have 4 post-credits scenes because it keeps you entertained the whole credits. You're at least like every now and then it's like, oh, here's the thing.
And the credits actually look very nice.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
credits
they
were cool.
Put effort into
Even when
making
you
them look
didn't
nice.
have the actual credit scenes, like the
Yeah.
little vignette things, like
Yeah.
they had David Hasselhoff. They even had that song that David
Yeah.
Hasselhoff
They had
sung.
everybody dancing.
Yeah.
It was
And-
good.
Yeah, and I gotta admit, I nearly pooped myself
When you saw-
Surprise,
when I saw
surprise.
Adam Warlock get teased.
Oh, yeah.
That made me go.
I don't know who that is. So
that
I'm
made me
very
go. I think I
happy to
texted you
be-
that too.
yeah.
I'm like, I cannot be more.
And I
excited.
think I texted you back. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I'm
Just-
excited to figure
just
it
read
out.
our texts over the.
Yeah.
I had known that they were gonna introduce Adam Warlock at some point, but now I guess they're gonna wait till Phase 4.
Well, when they first announced the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I was like, "Where's Adam Warlock? Why is he not on this team?" And then I was like, "Oh, some crazy space guy is going to be Star-Lord's dad. Oh, it's going to be Adam Warlock. What the frick? It's not Adam Warlock." And then finally they're like, "Yes, we're finally doing Adam Warlock."
And so now, but it seems like they're setting him up to possibly be the villain in Guardians 3.
Yeah, but speaking
there's gonna
of,
be another
I
one.
think
And that's going to be post New Avengers, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I think for Guardians 3 they got to do something really different.
Yeah.
I think we can only
Go back
have
to Sirius.
what?
Go back to Sirius.
No, I don't. I don't want that. What I just mean is like,
The Hangover 3.
yeah, I don't want them to constantly do callbacks to the last 2 movies.
Well, and
Uh,
I think too. I mean, when you get people like, and this obviously is a big spoiler, but when you get people like Ving Rhames, Miley Cyrus, and Sylvester Stallone to form that original Guardians team, they
Wait,
got to bring them
Miley
back.
was on
Yeah,
there?
Miley Cyrus plays
Which
the
one
voice
was she?
of the
Robot Head?
The mask?
Yeah,
Oh.
But
Oh,
I
that
mean,
sounds like garbage.
You can't bring those characters in and just
Yeah.
have them be for a post-credits
I
scene.
think that's all it was.
I was really surprised Sylvester Stallone got billing in the opening credits.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, and
He's
he's
barely there.
he is.
and he's barely acting.
And I have
like
a feeling
That's
he'll
barely
be,
alive.
I
Yeah,
have a
really.
feeling he'll be exactly like the post-credit scene from the last movie was in this movie, where Howard the Duck makes a cameo for one scene, and then we're done.
But he has so much more to offer than Howard the Duck, though.
I
All
He
think-
those
said we're
guys.
going to start stealing stuff.
I just
Yeah.
don't. I just don't think that when you're already juggling so many characters, I don't think adding another freaking team is.
Yeah, someone's
good
gonna die.
Well, I think that that's what they're going to do with Guardians 3 is make it less of like a I mean, I don't want to say less of an ensemble, but less of like a personal sort of thing, and bring it in to like maybe include like the whole Nova Corps and everything. The original Guardians having a team up with the current Guardians team for Adam Warlock possibly.
But I just really do want them to go somewhere. I'm not going to say serious, but I want the story to be unexpected. I want them to go in some different places than they've been going in this movie. And again, I'm fine for one movie just being like, hey, remember how good the first one was? We're doing that over. But if they do that for the third, then it's like that's wasted potential. You can't do more with this.
I know that like in the grand scheme of things, or for the mass population, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I feel like you guys will agree with me. I hope that they have full-grown Groot in Guardians 3 and not adolescent Groot.
Oh,
I'm okay with adolescent.
I'm fine with
Groot.
either.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of Baby Groot.
Yeah, I just feel like they'll fall into the same trap as they did with Baby Groot with adolescent Groot, just like so many
That's better than
like
Baby Groot to
hacky
me.
jokes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Baby Groot had like he actually did have the like adorability factor, and like it was just fun to watch him. That I don't know if adolescent Groot would have.
I think that was probably because someone was texted me, what part did you laugh hardest at? For me, it was that scene of Groot trying to steal that thing, and the reveal of when he brings that one thing back, and they're like, oh God, I don't want to spoil it.
The toe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just perfectly clean cut off.
Sydney.
I know it's integral to the story.
It's
but
fun though.
It is time for our third and final break. So we had Tom Cruise segment, the poop segment, and that was the Guardians of the Galaxy segment. So we'll come back.
Cruise, the Groot, and the poop.
That's a gold right there.
We'll come back and we'll let Drew tell us about some fast food, and then we might talk about some nerd culture. We'll see where it takes us. So stick around for the next 5. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. It's May 9th. This is Prime Nation Live. We're back from our third and final break, and with hopefully no more tangents, we're going to send it over to Drew Harrison to tell us about some Bojangles.
All right. This week I reviewed the new Chicken Supreme sandwich from Bojangles. It is their classic Supremes on a bun with bacon, pickles, and a new zesty sauce.
Ooh, okay. I was wondering what would set this apart.
How does this
Zesty
stack up
sauce.
against Zaxby's sauce? Because it looks similar.
It was very much the same. I think it was ranch dressing with chili powder.
So, like you're saying, it looks similar to actual Zach's
Yeah, it's
sauce?
like an orangey with red spots.
Gotcha. So for anyone who might be listening who doesn't know about Bojangles, I feel bad for you, but Bojangles is the...
Bad for you, son.
I
got 99
genuinely-
restaurants.
I
Bojangles
genuinely
is all
do.
of them.
Yeah.
I got 99 problems, and
Jangle
high cholesterol is one. But
Nailed it, Sid.
Bojangles is a purveyor of fast food chicken, fried chicken. It's absolutely delicious.
Also biscuits.
Biscuits.
Their biscuits are
all your
cool.
down-home fixins you can get at Bojangles.
They're a purveyor of
You're-
down
How does
home.
their-
I like you're
How
trying
does their
so
sausage
hard to be
gravy stack
southern,
up?
and you're like a purveyor of down-home biscuits.
Well, I
I
gotta
know.
bridge the gaps here.
I want me a cheddar bow.
Those things are. I'm addicted to cheddar.
Oh, Cameron, did you tell that story? Yeah, tell that story.
Okay. So, one of my teachers this past semester said that she went to Bojangles and went up to the drive-thru like, "Welcome to Bojangles, it's bow time." She was like, "Yes, can I get a cheddar bow?" And then they cut her off, and they're like, "Oh, hold on, man, just wait a second." And then she goes, "Oh, well, I guess it's not quite bow time, then, is it?" And then
But
Pretty good.
you know, one of my favorite things during the presidential election was someone had a picture of it was Hillary's VP Tim Kaine, and he was eating Bojangles at a North Carolina airport.
Good call.
And yeah, you could tell the people who like lived in the South, because a lot of people were like, "What is he eating?" And the ones who lived here were like, "It's bow time."
Well, they had, in my opinion, one of the best promotional jingles. Gotta, wanna, need to get a have-a.
I thought you were going to talk about the Bojangler.
Oh no! What, that fish
the way
sandwich?
you
Oh,
presented
yes.
that, they had one of the best I've ever seen.
I
Gotta
don't
wanna
need
need
to
to have
have
to get a.
Man, I love to hear my dad order Bojangles because he enunciates every syllable, and it's like, hey, hey, welcome to Bojangles.
Yes,
What
can I get a
for you?"
roasted chicken bite combo?
No, that is
Yeah,
exactly
don't-
what it is.
A Cajun filet, egg, and cheese biscuit.
That's exactly what it is. He's like, a bowberry biscuit, chicken biscuit.
And for my fixin', can I have some potato wedges?
No, that's exactly
For
what
my
it is.
fixings.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
go to Bojangles with Tyler in the drive-thru.
Why is
Oh
that?
God, we were just having a normal conversation. He pulls up to the window.
I go,
like,
howdy,
"Hey,
how
man,
you
what do
doing?"
Yeah, what do you want to get? Hey, yeah, it's bow time. Let me get.
Say that. God, I'm great.
Brings out the southern roots.
Because I think
in
they're
wanna
like,
go to the
it's bow
drive-thru,
time. Can
Tyler.
I take your order? It is bow time. Can I get?
It's about to be
Yes,
bow
it
time.
is.
And I'm like, no warning, no nothing.
Man, I ate Bojangles yesterday, but now I'm feeling like I might have to get it today.
That sandwich is really good.
I love
Check out
Bojangles
that sandwich.
breakfast. I can't ever really bring myself to get lunch from there
It's
anymore.
about
The
the same
Supremes
thing.
combo is fantastic.
Yeah, I know. It's just like I guess my body's at a different point by that point in the day or something.
right.
Yeah.
Also-
City's body's prospered above us.
I guess he doesn't want to need to have a Bojangles.
Also, we were talking about this off mic. The green beans in this picture, those are not Bojangles green
no,
beans.
I didn't even know Bojangles offered green beans.
Those are-
They do, but they're not like sharp and crisp like those clearly
Those
are.
are green beans
Enhance.
from Indochine down the road.
Yeah, really. Those are like little snap peas. But yeah, Bojangles has like smothered in lard and bacon green beans, you know.
I mean, they're good.
Oh yeah.
I
Dirty
wanna-
rice is what I always get.
Tanner, I want to see the face of the man that took this picture. Enhance more.
I can't. Oh wait, maybe I can
What,
get it
the
on
reflection
the
of
glass.
the beans.
Wait, yeah, no, the reflection of the glass, maybe. No face.
No, that kind of is a face.
Is that ego?
No, it's like you remember in Ant-Man they had that little thing that people were thinking might have been eternity.
Oh, it was eternity.
Well,
They
when
said
do
that
they
was
give
eternity.
you glasses at Bojangles? Like that's what I don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the sides and a
That's
nice
a glass
That's a
bowl.
plate.
glass plate. Look at this. Enhance.
Fine china for Bojangles.
Yeah.
So real quick, I don't want to get back on Guardians too much, but whenever Ego
What did Ego and his big giant planet face to go? It's bow time.
that would have been great marketing. But whenever Ego showed Star-Lord where all he had planted his spores and everything like that, you know, Star-Lord's eyes were dark. I heard, but I could be wrong. Did he say eternity?
He did, and I think that was another call to the Marvel version of eternity as a
Okay.
person.
I'm thinking that's gonna be that's gonna have to be where they
It's-
go for Phase 4.
It's weird because in the Marvel universe, abstract concepts are represented in human form.
Yeah.
Like death,
Death.
that's the whole thing. Thanos is in love with death, but you've also got Oblivion. You've got like all these very abstract concepts that are just people, and they're just like, "What's up? It's bow time."
Okay, but yeah, that's the only segue because
Drew, did you have a question for me at some point? You were going to ask me as a Southerner or something? Or as a Bojangles?
no, just as a Bojangles and also a biscuits and gravy connoisseur.
Uh-huh.
How does Bojangles biscuits and gravy stack up to the rest?
I've really only ever had Bojangles
Really?
biscuits and
Hardee's
gravy.
is really good.
I don't trust Hardee's.
I can say
What?
Bojangles is better than Hardee's in my opinion, at least.
The sausage gravy?
Yeah, gravy
Okay.
biscuit. That's what I get
Okay.
every morning at Bojangles.
Okay.
My order is a gravy biscuit combo with
I've just
Bo
never had it
Rounds
from Bojangles.
and a
so-
Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Yeah, bright and early with
That's-
Mountain Dew.
My body's
You
in
and
a different
Tyler.
place at 12 p.m.
That's what I'm saying. It's a garbage dump at when I wake up by 12 noon. I have a little bit more sense about
If you
me.
don't eat breakfast, you can dump in it twice at lunch and dinner.
But no,
Breakfast
see,
is about getting something in you, and that's it. Once you're up and you're spry, you got to start making decisions.
Yeah, howdy, it's bow time. Can I get 47 ladles of gravy? Thank you.
I'm just going to keep driving around the store and you just pour one in my mouth.
let me
every
just
time
get
I
a
come
large size cup filled with gravy. That's all I
home. Y'all
want.
sell gravy by the pound.
You're
Yeah,
talking about
so-
breakfast. This was my breakfast. If
So-
Tanner, you can get back over
Yes,
here.
Starburst.
Still gravy by the vat.
Well, you
If
know how,
only.
I mean, I don't understand. You know how the hibachi places
Now I
sell
want-
the yum yum sauce? They
Mhm.
should just sell the gravy.
Now I want some of the Bojangles.
I'd be
I do see
surprised.
Casey's will sell lard. Casey's will sell bacon lard for you.
All
Casey's
right.
is a local Southern.
BBQ.
See,
Boutique.
Southern people have this figured out, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why I gave this sandwich an 8 out of 10
on
on the scale of Bojangles should be worldwide.
But how much of a difference does the sauce make?
But a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Swiss.
Because, I mean, it takes I'm a big mayonnaise fan.
Does it get lost in the sauce?
No. The main thing you taste is the very surprisingly good dill pickle. Their
Okay.
pickle
Well,
was
it's not
very
something you
crisp and
typically
not
see.
soggy.
You don't typically see that in a Bojangles sandwich.
No,
Dill
I think
pickle?
they bought pickles specifically for the sandwich.
If I had my
Alright,
way, you'd never
alright.
see it in a sandwich.
Do you guys ever
like
get the?
pickles?
You like pickles?
I don't like pickles.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. You know what? Drew? I'm a guy who poops on my own floor. This is not.
Do
this
you
is not
eat
the only
If you ate
pickle
more
spears?
pickles, you wouldn't have
pickles feet? No,
Pickle spears.
no.
Like-
Do you like fried pickles?
Like you get a
Nope.
you get a pickle with
The only part
with
of
the
a
deli sandwich. You don't eat those.
No, the only part of a fried pickle I like is the fried part.
That's why you're pooping yourself so much, man. You're like, I'll eat fried
He
chicken.
orders the fried pickles and peels them off and eats.
You
the
just
little-
eat grease and breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Does that sound so bad?
He looks like he's made of grease and breadcrumbs.
But again,
Okay,
just
that's
to
fair.
just to specify,
The bully called you out for bullying. All right, that's
you know,
not
he does
right.
I didn't get to in high school like you, Cameron. I didn't make an empire out of it.
but again, just to specify, we're talking about pickled cucumbers here.
Yes,
Not
Oh,
just
yeah.
pickled.
AKA pickles.
Talking about pickled pig's feet. Would you eat pickled pig's feet, boy?
I did try pig's feet for the first time.
Oh yeah, he
last
did.
week.
I witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
I tried the
At
pig's feet.
Casey's?
At
Yeah.
Casey's.
Oh, nice.
I
ate
always
the
see
pig's
that, and it looks way too gross.
I don't think you weren't
Oh,
a fan.
I
right?
felt like it was gross going in, and I mean, like it was fine. It was okay, but it's honestly, it's one of the only things I've ever eaten and been like, I don't know. if I
Like, it
can
looks
do
His
like-
face immediately was like,
Yeah.
"That was a terrible."
Well, like,
decision."
you know how
Are
in-
there hooves? Can you see the hooves?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's like a little.
you can
there's,
tell it's a foot.
there's little bones in it. There's little tiny bones, and then you just eat like kind of some chewy meat. It's kind of like dark meat.
It's like the nasty part of like a chicken.
Yeah, it is. It's like nasty chicken,
Wait.
dark meat,
And
but
it
like
They're
look
nasty
pig's
parts of
feet.
chicken. I just leave the bones.
yeah,
It looks
don't
to
go
me
to KFC with this
like
guy.
the pig's feet they have at Casey's is like, you know how in a pot roast the meat is all just like falling apart. You pick it apart.
Yes.
It looks like that, but pork. You don't ever want to have that unless it's pulled
Pork is the most disgusting of meats.
I
Really?
agree. I agree.
I mean,
Well,
not taste wise, but like sanitation wise.
Yeah.
Oh, for
it-
sure.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
big.
yeah.
Unless
the-
maybe you're
It does seem
talking-
like
pigs
it's dirty
can't-
meat.
Yeah, they can't sweat out toxins. So
Oh,
D-
really?
yeah,
Ah.
that's like
What a turkey
the
sweat?
Quran's onto something.
Okay,
Like they don't
yeah.
just say that just cause. Like
Yeah.
pigs are disgusting animals.
Well, is that the same for cows and stuff? Because it says hooved.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I've
they're
never
getting-
seen
they-
a sweaty cow though.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have 4 stomachs. That's the devil.
Yep. 4
Is
stomachs.
there anything
one
else that doesn't have just one stomach? That's a mammal.
brain. I don't know. I'm not a
Dolphins.
stomach expert.
Tanner, get on this.
I'll tell you what, though,
It's a
that
worthwhile question.
elk burger down at Platypus and
Yeah,
Nome.
yeah.
Oh God, it's
Wait,
I've
what was
that
one
place
of the
good.
question?
I liked it when
It
it was
is.
7.
Yeah,
It was
it's 7 was great. I had brunch there one time. It was good. I went to Platypus and Nome one time recently with Matt. Phenomenal.
I went recently and wasn't that impressed, but I think it was just because what I ordered. But I did want to try the elk burger.
elk burger, and I got that poutine, the Swedish poutine.
I've never had
Oh, what's on
poutine.
Swedish?
It is.
Always
it's got
wanted
Swedish
to.
meatballs
So-
and like the gravy and fried.
What?
Dude, it is so
I've
good.
got some fun fact
Yeah.
here for you. Cows only have one stomach. They have 4 compartments in their stomach.
One
and
stomach,
other
Tyler.
other animals like this include goats, sheep, giraffes, yaks, deer, antelope, and macropods.
I need a
Goats are good
giraffe.
too.
I need a giraffe. No,
I-
no questions asked.
I would too.
Can
I'd
deer
ask a
sweat?
question.
Would it be like a rack of lamb, but it's giraffe's neck?
Wait, Tyler, are you asking me if I sweat?
No.
Oh.
I said, do giraffes sweat? Are you a giraffe?
Oh no.
If
But-
so, answer the question.
It'd be a fun prank to play on someone like in Louisiana, make them think you're serving them snake,
So-
like in The Water Boy, and then it turned out to be giraffe neck.
Yeah, I don't think you play with people's food in Louisiana.
That's true.
Well, they play with it enough. They're like, oh, yeah, we got a fried flip flop for you. I heard a really southern dude say bonjour the other day, and
Oh,
I was
no.
like, "Are you gonna give me crawdads?"
It was the dude outside of Bourbon
Bonjour.
Street.
yes, it is.
Pirate guy, yeah.
He says bonjour, and I was like,
Bonjour.
if you would have said anything else, lightly Creole, I would have gone in there.
Yeah. I don't know how that guy hasn't found a living as a voice actor for a pirate.
Mm.
Did
I'm
y'all ever watch that cooking show with the Cajun dude that would get drunk during the show?
No.
He'd be like,
Talking
"Little
about Sean
cooking-
Patton.
little sip of wine. We're going to do a little sip, and then we're going to put it in the pot." And he would get drunk
As
on
the seasons
PBS.
went on,
It was
he's
on
like, you know,
PBS.
we're going to have to take a few swigs of wine. We're going to drink a whole gallon of wine.
The Juan.
And apparently giraffes can and will sweat under certain circumstances. This is what it says.
Can and will.
I
Research
swear to God, I'll do it.
Don't make me shed a sweat.
Research paper, giraffe thermoregulation, a review.
This giraffe's
Someone
not
wrote that
regulated.
paper
3
and
out of
reviewed
5.
it. Is it the same person?
Yeah, this is
Did
a
they review their own
peer-reviewed
paper?
work about giraffe thermoregulation.
Can and will deer sweat?
Deer?
Deer,
Yeah,
yes.
find
we
out.
found
Two
that giraffes
E's.
suck
When
at
they-
cooling off.
When they look up from
They
that
can
corn
do
I
it, but
put
they
out and
suck
put the
at
red
it.
dot on their forehead, they sweat.
Okay.
You
Let's
using a
see.
red dot laser to
It's the
hunt
only way
deer?
to hunt me.
They have very few sweat glands, so they are unable to keep cool by evaporative cooling. As
But
we
they
do.
can?
I guess so.
Oh, they can.
I guess so, but they don't sweat to keep themselves cool. Maybe it is more of like a toxin release.
They'll-
type
they'll
All right,
poop
now
themselves
Google
too.
if pigs sweat.
Okay.
We're
Find
we're
it
gonna
out.
hammer this
is the
home
sweat
right
segment. This falls in line with Bojangles.
now.
I've
Yeah,
never
can I-
sweat from eating Bojangles.
Can I get some non-sweat pork, please?
That's all pork, isn't it?
See, pigs have
Uh-huh,
a few
I'm
sweat
listening.
glands. They can.
Yeah,
sweat.
they have a few sweat glands, but they're not very useful for temperature adjustment. So that's why they typically roll around in mud, is to reduce
Yes.
their temperature.
This is a great picture of a giraffe, by the way. I have on screen. I just wanted to.
So has anyone else seen the GIF where the giraffe sucks on a pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've showed
Let's
everybody.
turn Tyler on the.
I
It's
enjoyed it.
interesting. That is definitely interesting. I fed a giraffe. We had, I think I mentioned this on the show, that Buffalo Beals place. Yeah, I fed a giraffe, and they have like
it
a
just sounds like you have a terrible
Speech
accent
impediment,
just
yeah.
for Bill.
I just-
Buffalo Bill.
that's the only word.
That's
in
the
my
only word that gets you. Buffalo Bill.
So I just another little thing about sweat that I remembered. No, there's a video game series called Mass Effect. Has anyone played this?
I've heard of it.
I've
Sure,
heard
why
of
not?
it, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's. All right, so there's
Camera with the
this,
save.
yeah. So there's this game called Mass Effect, and you can romance aliens in that game, and the aliens have like this different kind of DNA. So some people did some chemical equations to find out what the alien girl's sweat would taste like.
And
It would taste sweet, like sugar. This is
See,
the
has
alien in
gone
question,
too
by the
far.
way.
All right, this has gone
So
way too
fans
far.
did this, or
Yeah,
in the
fans-
game?
fans
People need
did
to
it.
stop
How did
liking
they
things.
find the chemical compounds? In the sweat?
Because they didn't. I don't know exactly how they did it, but in fact, if I look up her sweat, maybe I'll find it.
What is wrong with people?
Tanner and
tan hands.
That's as far as I can enhance. Yeah, I've got. Yeah, someone posted on a forum like
Those
how
beasts.
just this whole explanation. Damn it,
Oh my god!
I can't pull it up for how
This is
the
why I don't
chemical
go
government's
equations
saying
work.
no.
It's a whole new level of creepy for Rule 34.
Yeah, and she was the one I
Take it to a
romanced
different
in,
level.
in my game, but I didn't go this far.
You know, I like how Tanner keeps us. We get a head of steam going. He's like, guys, let me tell you about some sweat on an alien girl.
Did you write this on the forum, Tanner?
Yes, my name is Thunder Tactics.
I mean, couldn't anyone just say that alien sweat sounds sweet and we'd
Well,
believe
they
it
did-
because we
they
don't
did the
know?
It
bath.
sounds amazing.
Because-
It tastes even better.
Yeah. Like, look, it says the next best thing would be urea. Urea is essential for the metabolism of animals. See, they did science on this, dude. They went far to find out what
Urea,
this chick's. Yeah, I guess.
as in urine.
Tanner, you do a great job of making me have no faith in human people on a daily basis. It's nice.
Even the days I don't see you, you just
Yes.
think of me, and you're
Yeah,
like,
I think
oh,
of
yeah.
stories like this. I'm like, you're right.
Urea is indeed excreted in urine. It's a colorless crystalline compound that is the main nitrogenous breakdown product of protein metabolism in mammals.
It's also what sweetens Pepsi.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No, you're not.
But it's the next best thing to sweet sweat, so they must be onto
It's what the
something.
diabetes people
Yeah.
sweat up.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so happy to
What
be
led
here.
us to talk about pigs? Oh, pigs' feet. That's right. Yes, we were
Yeah,
talking
you're
about
nobbling on
pigs'
some pig feet.
So
Yeah.
I had one.
You had pig
pig's
foot.
He had
foot.
2 bites of one pig. So
And
he's
did
like,
you?
yeah, no-
It was one bite. There was 2
yeah,
bites.
there was
So-
not a lot of meat on them.
Yeah, is it like one of those things where you just accept that you're going to get some bone, or do
It's
they
just like 3 tiny little bones.
little phalanx,
like,
whatever you
yeah.
call them,
It's like seeds.
Well,
and
it's weird because they don't have the individual.
phalanges?
Yeah,
or
they
whatever.
got hooves.
Yeah, it's kind of like
true.
the bones are the 2 little ends.
Oh,
yeah. So it's kind of like you
ew.
eat the meat around that,
Oh, so you're eating
It
it
was
like
not
wings?
pleasant to watch.
kinda.
Oh
yeah.
my god! Yeah, just
Oh, you're saying
chewy.
watching me.
Yeah, it
eat
wasn't
that.
pleasant to
chewy
watch.
Oh, well,
foot meat.
excuse me.
I lived through you and then wanted to kill
I
myself.
tried to eat gracefully, but I guess I didn't pull it off.
For like my
You did as
ninth,
graceful as you could for a pig's foot.
Yeah,
it just
that's
still
true.
wasn't pleasant.
for like my 9th or 10th birthday, I did a Fear Factor birthday party, and one of the
Oh,
things was
Jesus.
bobbing for pigs' feet.
God, you had a lot better childhood than I did.
when I shared these details, yeah.
I had to invite everybody in my class because I didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
How many showed up?
4.
Okay, well, that's better enough.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had birthday parties like that. Yeah.
It
But
was a bounce house. I didn't care.
anyway, we were bobbing for pig's feet, and then I had a friend of mine who we dared to eat some of the
imagine
raw.
That, imagine
pig's
that
feet.
water.
Uh-huh. Oh well, we put styrofoam peanuts in it, and then the pig's feet, so you couldn't just see where the pig's feet were. Yeah, it was disgusting.
What?
But then I had a friend of mine who was my age, 9 years old, bit into the raw pig's foot and just yanked it out.
It was raw pig's
Raw
feet, too.
pig's
What is
foot.
wrong with you?
We
Fear
dared him
Factor.
to do it. He did it. He's fine. Well, fine operatively.
Here's something that's going to be fun. Tanner, what's the grossest thing you've eaten?
Oh
We'll
man!
wrap up after this.
At one point, apparently, when I was like 3 years old, I drank my own urine. Is what they tell me.
Like you put it in a
Okay.
cup, or you peed in your own mouth, or what?
Why?
I poop my pants every
I
day
guess
and
because
I
I
drink urine.
peed in a cup and then later drank out of the cup.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I guess at one point, like I peed in a cup and then I drank out of the cup.
How old?
I think I was like, I don't know, maybe 3. I'm trying to think of the most gross thing I've eaten,
Years
like
ago.
willingly, and I'm having a real tough time. Also,
I'm
if you're
coming to
wondering
a
why I
block.
was silent there, it was because I was pulling up a picture of my dog who looks like a pig.
Did you?
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Have you seen a pig before?
Yeah, yes, I have.
We can't break it to him, guys. Let's just
Yeah.
that's a pig.
Tanner, you're thinking of giraffes. Your dog looks like a giraffe more than it looks.
Tanner's
like a
been
pig.
so excited for the day that he can make bacon out of his dog.
Do not imply I would ever eat my Harley. All right.
No, he's talking about
Just ride
Mel
your Harley.
Gibson's wife. That dog looks like Mel Gibson's wife.
I can get a comparison up. in
Oh
just a
man!
moment.
All right, well with that, guys, this has been our show, Prime Nation Live, May 9th.
It's been a show.
It has been a show indeed. I'm Sydney Roberts. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SydneyRoberts18.
I'm Tyler Wood, and you can find me on Twitter at Tyler W. Wood and on Instagram at Styler Wood, and you can find Prime Nation across all social media platforms, be that YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or Libsyn, or SoundCloud, or iTunes at Prime Nation Live.
I'm Charlie Dawson. You can find me on Twitter.
I hate
at
you.
Harrison _ comedy.
I hate you, Charlie.
And Instagram
Go to New York.
at Laugh with Harrison.
I'm also Charlie Dawson. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at CamboySmith. That's CamboySmith.
And I'm Tanner Methvin. You can find me on Twitter at Tanner Methvin and on YouTube at The Sinister Waffles.
Very nice, guys. That was our show for today. We'll be back tomorrow, May 10th, live at 10 a.m. Take it easy till then. And like Tyler said, check us out on all podcast apps and on YouTube. Have a good one.